Today, I'm in the hot seat. I'm here to answer all of your top Vancouver wedding questions. Let's get started. Here we go.
Do you have a question, Kelly?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
I'm Allison Payne. I am a Greater Vancouver wedding planner. And today I'm going to answer all of your top questions when it comes to wedding planning here in the Vancouver area. I put it out to my Instagram people. I said, what are your top questions? And here we go. I'm going to do my best to answer them. Where do I even start? I love this question. I think it's probably the most common question. It's definitely how I felt when I first started planning my wedding. You get engaged, you're all excited. All of a sudden, everyone's asking you, what are your wedding plans? What are you thinking? What are you envisioning? And you're like, I don't know even where to start. Celebrate. Number one, enjoy that time of just embracing that you're engaged. Enjoy celebrating with friends, with family. Enjoy getting the glance, getting used to this heavy weight on your left hand, you know, that when you suddenly feel like you're always needing to talk with this hand and just kind of like do. Show that bling. I'm here for it. I still catch myself doing it. It's time to sit down and kind of break through what you're thinking for a budget. Grab a glass, sit with your partner, start thinking about kind of where you're comfortable, what you're comfortable with in spending for your wedding. It does kind of help drive the remainder of your planning process. Next, I do recommend putting together a guest list. You can start with guest list A, kind of your must-have people that you both are in agreements of. You can each kind of do a guest list B. You're hoping to involve them if the venue allows it, if the budget allows it. Next, I do recommend reaching out to a wedding planner.
Why do we need a wedding planner?
Because we have 1 month to plan a wedding, and who's gonna do it? You? Don't look at me.
Someone like myself. Most of us do offer a free consultation. This really does just give you the chance to have a meet and greet, start really word vomiting all of your wedding plans on somebody who knows all things weddings. What a great opportunity. Start really researching a wedding planner either in your area or the area that you're hoping to get married in, and we're totally here to help. From there, I do recommend really finding that venue. That kind of does coincide with deciding on a date, or at least a rough idea, a season, a year in which that you're hoping to make this wedding happen. The venue does take up about 50% of your budget. That does include items though like catering and your bar. That is why I do recommend you kind of involving a wedding planner prior to booking your venue, just because that's a huge chunk of your money that you're going to be putting out for the venue. And why not bring in the professional to be able to do those walkthroughs with you and make sure that we're kind of covering all those unanswered questions. That's kind of where I would say is a good place to start when it comes to planning your wedding. Next question I got was, what's the average cost of a wedding? It does obviously vary depending on where you're located. I will speak to kind of the Vancouver area. The average cost of a wedding these days is somewhere around $500 a person is a good estimate for just your run-of-the-mill wedding. If you're having a 100-person wedding, I would roughly estimate around $50,000 for that wedding. And that does just really include your venue, your standard florals, your good food. I'm not talking like fine dining food, but I'm talking good food. I'm talking good drinks. Maybe a signature cocktail, maybe not the cheapest bottle of wine, but the second most affordable bottle of wine that you select for your guests. I'm talking your standard bridal bouquets with your bridesmaids bouquets, maybe a bit of an archway. In terms of cost savings, I can always offer different advice in terms of scaling that back a bit. Post-COVID, there was obviously a lot of elopements, a lot of really micro weddings. Since that, a lot of people have really started to look at that guest list. Let's keep it closer to like 40, 45. So we're not talking micro, but we're talking about a smaller wedding. And then really being able to kind of splurge on those must-have items that they're really wanting to see. And just kind of having a more of an intimate wedding. I am kind of liking that trend, and it is kind of a nice way to kind of cost savings, but still get everything that you're looking for. What are your non-negotiables that you feel like are a must for your wedding day? With this one, maybe I'm a little bit biased, and maybe it's why I started to do what I do, being a wedding planner. It is my belief that having somebody there the day of your wedding, a day of coordinator, a wedding planner, should be involved.
The point is, I'm not a wedding planner. I'm more than a wedding planner. I got you, okay? My job is to be your financial advisor, family therapist, and stylist. Your job is to enjoy the event. So give me a guest list and a deposit.
I don't want any stress on the bride, the groom, the parents, the families, the wedding party. I think we've all been to those weddings where it's like, oh, can you arrive 2 hours before the rehearsal, the day before the wedding? We need a lot of help setting up. And then we've all been to those weddings where it's Sunday morning and you're getting messages from the wedding party being like, where are you? We need your help with cleanup. No one wants to do that. The wedding day comes and goes so fast. I really do want you to enjoy the whole experience. I want you to enjoy your family and your friends coming into town. The days leading up to that, I want you to be relaxed. I want you to go to the spa. I want you to get a facial. I want you to get a massage. And part of that is hiring someone who's able to execute your perfect day without you needing to be there to physically execute it yourself. That is something that I honestly find as a non-negotiable. That's just my opinion. What was something that I did at my own wedding that I wouldn't do now? I didn't hire a DJ at my own wedding. Big regret. Probably the only regret of my entire wedding. I was all like DIY. I'm gonna just make Spotify playlists and I'm gonna set up speakers. We're gonna rent some speakers. I'm gonna have the groomsmen set up the speakers, the AV equipment, and then I just have to hit play and away we go. No, it was a big fail. Did it get set up properly? No. One speaker ended up working. We had rented 3. One only worked the entire weekend. There was supposed to be Bluetooth from the cell phone to the speakers. It kept cutting off in the middle of my favorite wedding song, Shout.
You know you make me wanna lift my hands, go ahead, keep my heels on, come on, take it in.
The song's playing, I'm jazzed, I'm jumping, all of a sudden, boom, Bluetooth kicks out, and the song stops. Devastated. So needless to say, hire a DJ. Yeah, do it. It's worth the money. Worth every penny. Do it. What are some items that people often forget when planning their own wedding when they don't have a wedding planner? Those like really important logistical aspects, I think, is something that is overlooked. The liquor license, the permits, the liability insurance, making sure that you nail down the proper forms and documents when you're actually getting married. When do I get my marriage license? Do they know that you have to get it within a certain time frame before your wedding?
Wazowski, you didn't file your paperwork last night.
Oh, that darn paperwork. Wouldn't it be easier if it all just blew away?
Don't let it happen again.
Who's gonna be in charge of the flow of your day? You're making these beautiful timelines, but who's like making sure you're on time? Are you wearing the watch? Are you making sure, hey, it's time for speeches. Hey, it's time for our first dance. Allocate someone for that. If you don't have a wedding planner, I do recommend having a really good MC. Some amazing MCs are able to really make sure that the night and the day runs smoothly, but it is a lot of pressure on them as well to make sure that things are going in a timely manner. That's usually something that I do. It often is forgotten, like who's running the day? Who are you gonna allocate to do that if it's not in your budget to have a wedding or a day of coordinator on site for you? What is my favorite venue in the Vancouver area? This one was hard. It's hard to narrow it down. I have a couple. I'll start with the Hangar. The Hangar is located out in Abbotsford. It's a beautiful 3,500 square foot hangar. It's this beautiful white walled customizable space. And what's great is that it's actually owned by one of the best catering companies here in the Lower Mainland and Vancouver, by a beautiful couple, Mark and Carly Ann, who own White Table Catering. Phenomenal food, phenomenal drink, phenomenal everything. Not only when you book that site are you getting this amazing customizable blank canvas of a space, but you're also getting amazing catering, food and beverage, and just amazing staff that are involved in that as well to just make it an absolutely perfect event. Another one that I absolutely love is Sunwolf. Sunwolf is this beautiful property tucked into the woods, right in the corner along the beautiful river that runs through the city and town of Squamish, BC. Often with this booking, you can book it for an entire weekend and it's all yours for you and your guests. I love this all-inclusive concept. If you are getting married and you've got a ton of people needing to travel in from all over, it's about an hour north from the YVR airport. It's straight up the Sea to Sky Highway, which is one of the most beautiful highways in all of Canada, in my opinion. It's surrounded by little cabins that you can allocate your guests and where they want to stay. They actually allow camping on site as well. It's yours for the weekend. It's also got an amazing catering company. It's called Fergie's Cafe. Yeah, it's a beautiful, quaint, all-inclusive wedding venue. Highly, highly recommend. And that's that. If you have other questions, or if I forgot to answer one of the questions that you maybe asked, feel free to drop another question down in the comments below. If this was helpful to you, if you liked it, like, subscribe, check out my other videos, and otherwise, we'll see you next time where we cover a little bit more about all things weddings. Bye-bye.